Coming up, we're going to be talking about Comcast being happy to sell Hulu. We'll also be talking about Peppa Pig and much more. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's Thursday, it's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. First off, let's start talking about Peppa Pig because this was a very popular story yesterday. Disney has signed a contract with E1, aka Hasbro, for the first 6 seasons of Peppa Pig, which are now available on Disney Plus in a number of countries right across Europe, including the UK. Some countries are going to be getting them at the end of the month, so this is about 19 different countries. This is a big deal, obviously. Peppa Pig is massive. They've got theme parks, hugely popular with preschool kids, and going off the success of like Bluey and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, it definitely seems to just be a right fit for Disney Plus. Also, the first few seasons and stuff were actually made here in the UK, actually not that far from where I am. And so this one, yeah, this is pretty cool. I heard a lot of people going, it's a Nickelodeon show. Well, it's actually not been made by Nickelodeon. It just aired on Nickelodeon. It's also aired on other channels and stuff. It actually aired on Channel 5 here first. But yeah, so there's a big show to arrive here in Europe. I don't think it's going to be in other countries. I think it's at the minute just for that one. But I suspect it fits the Disney brand, I think, to have Peppa Pig on there. But let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about The Little Mermaid. We've got a new poster. Pretty dark, you can barely see what's going on that actually. But we're going to be getting a new trailer during the Oscars on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that one if you're looking forward to the new Little Mermaid film, which comes out at the end of May. Let's now move on to talking about Hulu, because it's celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. And Disney is celebrating by releasing some kind of weird green Fanta at select locations in Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort. So if you just want, I don't know if it's like lime flavour or anything like that, it looks a bit gross, but nevertheless, if you like Hulu, you might want to check that one out if you're at the place. They're also doing lots of premieres and stuff. They're kind of celebrating it. It kind of makes sense, you know, 15 years for a streaming service is a lot. It shows why it is one of the biggest streaming services in the US, but it's only in the US. There is one in Japan, but it's not actually run by Disney, but nevertheless. So, speaking of Hulu, let's now talk about Comcast, because they own 33% of Hulu, and in 2024, either Disney or Comcast can force Disney to buy out Comcast's share, which is valued at currently around about $9 billion, because it's about, as I said, it's a third of it, might be a little bit less, but that's kind of a deal that they came to agreement with. They has to be agreed to by like an independent company to kind of come up with the pricing. Looks like that's happening right now because Goldman Sachs has been brought in. Now, obviously, Bob Iger has spoken about the idea of selling Hulu and said everything is on the table. We're hopefully going to find out a little bit more because he's taking part in a Morgan Stanley conference today. But actually, the Comcast CEO took part in one yesterday, and he was asked about Hulu. Well, on this one, remember, they and we, back in 2019, we put together a very clear and good agreement for a put call that does happen in early 2024. So we know what that looks like. We're very happy, and if that's the way it plays out, that would be great. But if there's something different that comes along, we have to consider things. But you could, simple to say, we won't do something unless it's better in our minds than that, and I'll leave it there. So what we're seeing right now is two companies jockeying for a position, and we're definitely seeing the two CEOs kind of counterbalancing each other. They're kind of trying to, basically trying to sell a car. One's trying to sell it, one's trying to buy it, and they're trying to work out a price in the middle, and they're kind of negotiating. This is negotiating out in the open. Comcast, obviously, if they are selling their third, they will want it to go to the highest bidder so they get the most amount of money. They're quite happy to have Disney's money. They're happy to get the money. However, there's also that other argument. Some people think that Comcast could be trying to buy Hulu, and therefore they're trying to up the price so they, they get more money out of Disney. It's all very complicated. We don't really know what's quite going on. Another company could come in and buy Hulu, and neither of them are involved. Lots of different options. There's been a whole host of talk of, maybe, if Comcast was to take control, maybe they'd get rights back to some films like Namor and the Hulk. Maybe they could do something with that. I've always said as well, it would make sense for them to, if they're doing a negotiation, to maybe get back some theme park rights for, the East Coast for like Marvel characters, also the Simpsons. So there's things there that they could do swap. They've done this before. They did it with Oswald. They traded him for a sports commentator. I don't think that's a great option, but nevertheless. So they have done stuff, and I suspect there's going to be a lot of more jockeying, and we're going to be hearing from Bob Iger today as well. So hopefully we find out a little bit more. But the fact that Comcast are open for selling, it's not a huge surprise. They just want some money, or they're just trying to, as I say, big up what's going on. But let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. So let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. If you are in Australia, New Zealand, or Canada, you got the final 2 episodes History of the World Part 2, you can also find that one on Hulu as well. No European date just yet. Also in Australia and New Zealand, they got a new episode of Not Dead Yet, and that one's also going to be on Hulu in the US. So there we go, guys. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at what's on at disneyplus.com. Give us a thumbs up as well. That really helps as well. Hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.